Having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I thought this was worth talking about real quick. So I'm going to break this down real fast for you before I go to bed. I really am going to be quick because I have to get upstairs. When you get in these relationship situations, you have a bedtime. You can't be up all night acting a fool and running your mouth. But this was worth talking about. So that's what led me to bring this to your attention. There's this interesting thing going on with Nike and Colin Kaepernick, and apparently it now involves some black pastors. Apparently, Nike and Kaepernick got into it over these Betsy Ross shoes, where they're pretty much saying that Kaepernick was saying that these Betsy Ross limited edition shoes that they were going to release through Nike, that they're offensive to African Americans, and that and I think the reason for them being offensive in the eyes of Kaepernick is that the 13 stars, or the nature of the flag, reminds him of slavery. Now, I'm not going to say that that's not the case. I'm not going to say that that whole era doesn't represent something that was terrible for the black community. And who knows? I mean, I think you could make the argument that that this is almost like a Nazi flag kind of situation. And I think that is an interesting point to make. I think it's something worth debating. I think anything that leads people to have constructive debates is a good thing. And it looks to me like Kaepernick's opened up one of those interesting conversations, with this whole, conversation about the Betsy Ross flag. Now, what's fascinating though is that at the same time, you have this issue with these black pastors who are upset with Kaepernick for even bringing the issue up. They've actually asked, according to this particular outlet, there's a lot of them reporting on it, but this is the one that's in front of me, Footwear News. They're basically saying that Nike, or this coalition of African-American pastors led by President Reverend Bill Owens and directed to Nike CEO Mark Parker. He says, "We ask that you sever your relationship with Mr. Kaepernick, who has become synonymous with radical anti-American sentiment." He says, "Mr. Kaepernick does not represent us. Moreover, he has tainted our view of your brand." So they're basically saying that, that we no longer like Nike because you're associated with Colin Kaepernick. We see Kaepernick as anti-American, and that's a problem for us. Well, let me just say that that's kind of a problem for me for a couple of reasons. One, I think that this whole issue with the Betsy Ross sneakers, even though I can see where Cap is coming from on this, I see that as kind of a featherweight issue. I personally don't care if Nike releases Betsy Ross limited edition sneakers, because I'm not going to wear them. Nobody I care about is going to wear them. I don't care if you wear them. It doesn't affect me one way or the other. It won't change the plight of black people. I almost feel a little bit sad that a guy as brilliant as Colin Kaepernick, as powerful as Kaepernick, is using that power in such a limited capacity, meaning that, even Kim Kardashian is getting people out of prison. Even Kim Kardashian is working with Donald Trump to get people out of prison. I would prefer that Kaepernick use his voice and use his power to get black people out of the penitentiary. I'm not really sure how I feel about us not being able to go give our money away to Nike to buy Betsy Ross limited edition sneakers. I prefer that we just decide that we don't want to give our money to Nike at all and start giving it to black-owned shoe companies. Don't get me wrong, though. It's okay if you own Nikes. I'm just saying that, that this is kind of weird, that we're sort of claiming that we're representing black progress by getting Nike to take our money with their left hand instead of taking our money with their right hand. Now, I do think that this conversation with the pastors, though, is very interesting. First, I was asking, what is this organization, the Coalition of African American Pastors? Who are these pastors? Why are these Negroes going out of their way to go after Kaepernick on this issue? It reminds me of how black people kind of run to the front of the line to go after other black people in front of white people to sort of earn their meritorious manumission, as Dr. Claude Anderson says it, where you're getting stripes from white folks for attacking black people. I don't know how I feel about that. I do think at the same time, you could argue that they represent diversity of perspective, that, it shows the world that all black people are not on the same page. All black people don't think alike. And sorry, and it's actually our right to be a diverse community too. Sorry, guys, I totally choked just now. Oh God, whew. That was so bad. But last point I'll make, and then I'm done with this. I'll say that this is not an issue that should be at the forefront of the conversation. I don't think I don't think the Betsy Ross shoes matter. I think Cap can find better things to do. I don't think attacking Kaepernick matters. At least not for these pastors, not in this particular way. If Kaepernick stopping the release of a Betsy Ross shoe is what wakes you up to the fact that you don't like Nike, then that kind of tells me that you weren't really standing on sturdy ground anyway. You didn't know who the hell you were anyway, because either you like Nike or you don't. Either you're buying their products or you weren't. Either you believe in fighting the racial issue or you don't. Either you support veterans or you don't. So I think that you can support veterans without necessarily getting mad at Kaepernick for not liking the Betsy Ross shoe. But I think at the same time, Kaepernick can support Black people without picking an issue like this. I think this is kind of a weak issue. This is not an issue that's transformative or meaningful for Black people. And I think that with Kaepernick, he became iconic because of his labor dispute with his boss. The NFL wanted to fire him and mistreat him, and he made it into an issue that everybody embraced. But at the same time, I don't think the Black community really benefited much from the whole Kaepernick situation. I just really don't. I think symbolism is something that we have to learn how to separate from substance. And I don't see a lot of substantive moves that have been made by Cap since he got that power. Now, maybe later on down the line, he'll evolve. Maybe in a decade, he'll evolve. I don't know. But right now, as it stands, maybe you can tell me some areas where you think the Black community has truly benefited from Kaepernick's lawsuit and Kaepernick's, Nike ad and everything else that he's done. Because I'm not really sure if I see it, just being real with you. Anyway, I'm going to go. I think YouTube is really stuck or down or something because it's not doing anything in terms of letting you guys know that I'm live, but it's okay. I'll just email the link out tonight so everybody can watch it. So anyway, take care, guys. And I'm sorry I started choking. I got to go to bed, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. Make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, all that good stuff. I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.